Welcome to the BullCast Podcast.
Woohoo!
It's a party.
Yes, indeed.
Welcome to the BullCast Podcast. I'm Katie Pickler, and with me today is the whole team.
Cortland, Katie, Cameron, and Nicole are all coming at ya.
We're all here, and we are not doing this intro at all the normal way.
No,
Because it's 300.
There's nothing normal about this episode at all.
No, 300.
300.
No, like you said 300, and you were going to go with the whole, like, barbaric.
This is Sparta. This is Sparta.
This is Sparta. There we go. Okay, this is not Sparta. This is the BullCast Podcast. And we are opening the time capsule. 300 episodes of list, laughs, and lessons.
You made me think of something. What if we put this on a jump drive and bury it in a Ziploc bag, and in like 300 episodes, we dig it back up?
That'd be fun.
I don't know why we would, because it's digitized and we can go listen to it whenever we want.
Yeah,
but
100%.
the idea of a time capsule is kind of fun.
A fun photo op, us like with little shovels.
You should put like something in there too, like one of your BullCast bracelets.
Yeah, one of our baby
There
Yodas.
you go.
The child.
And a Diet Coke for
And a
Court.
Diet Coke. See how it fares.
Listen, we can bury every single one of the Diet Cokes that's in the fridge right now.
Are they
do not-
gross?
They do not taste
Diet
okay.
Coke's shelf life is not as good as it used to be. Like they go bad fast. And I don't know if it's the stores that are putting out bad inventory or what, but whew, okay, that's a normal episode. We're pivoting on something totally different. So 300, we've teased it. We've talked about it. We've tried to decide what the heck we're going to be doing with this episode. And here we are. We have Nicole on here. We haven't had Nicole on the episode in a very long time.
The background girl is coming to the front.
She's coming to the front. So 300. When we recorded episode 1, we had no idea we'd be sitting here saying that number out loud. And that's the thing, is it's become such a big deal of us saying, oh, 300, 300. But it's wild to think we actually are here. I said this to somebody just like in passing. I'm like, yeah, we're about to hit 300. And they're like, what? 300 episodes every Thursday.
We have.
That's the crazy part, is just the consistency. 300 is impressive, but it's just like we do not miss a week. I think we're allowed to toot our own horn on this episode. This is the one where we can do that.
Yeah. We just knew we wanted to make this personal finance simple. We wanted to take something that felt intimidating and make it understandable, maybe a little fun. And personally, we wanted to learn. We wanted to grow and make sure that we were educating ourselves while also educating other people. We weren't sure who our target market was going to be. That's very much evolved. So today, instead of just doing a normal episode, we're doing something different. We're opening the BullCast Time Capsule. I'm assuming everybody knows what a time capsule is, but that may be a dated phrase. But it's a container, like Cam said, the Ziploc bag. Schools would do
Yes,
this.
it was big for schools, yeah.
Schools would take an actual container and fill it with stuff. And then it's like the 50th anniversary class would then open this and see what were important to that school at that time. And
Yeah.
very cool concept. And so this is going to be a snapshot of kind of what 300 episodes look like. Give us the background. Cam, paint the
Yeah.
picture.
Oh, man.
I think this is appropriate for you.
Yeah, the picture.
Yeah, I'll get to the glaring issue in a second. But yeah, this started years ago. What are we on, year 6 right now?
We're-
Yeah, we're on year
26,
6, yeah. 7 years ago, I had this thought, like, podcasts are big. Something we don't do. It's something a lot of advisors don't do. Let's do it. And so started thinking through it with different people, and then we kind of shelved it. And then Katie and I got together on it, and then Court got together, and it just became what it is now. This wild ride for 6 years.
And it was, Cam, you and I had a relationship. We knew each other. We had a good banter with each other. I didn't really know Court. And it was like, okay, I'm about to have to sit across from this dude that I don't really know. He intimidated me. He seemed very grumpy. Like, why am I going to sit there and have this fun banter with someone who just spouts big words and is a lawyer and says the things? And I'm like, how is this going to work?
I saw the dynamic, though. I could feel it. I knew it was there. And you were also fresh into Pickler Wealth Advisors as an advisor. Court, you were going to be also sitting for the CFP as Katie was. So you guys were working together. Your knowledge was growing, and this was a perfect opportunity for us to inform our listeners as you guys grew into it. And boy, we have learned a lot.
We've learned a ton. We've evolved with what this show is. We've evolved with who we are individually. I think that it continues to be the 4 of us, because then we added Nicole into this. While the 4 of us have great dynamics and great relationships, we're all different. We all have different backgrounds, different things that we continue to bring to the podcast.
Yeah. And something that's huge for Pickler Wealth Advisors in general is communication and transparency. And this podcast is a big part of it and was born during COVID.
Yep.
And this is appropriate. We were supposed to record this last week, and I came down with COVID. It's perfect. I still sound a little sinusy, but we're pushing through. So
Full circle.
Yeah,
I
full
mean,
circle.
COVID is still a thing. Come on, Cam.
Who even gets COVID
Who even
anymore?
gets
Come
it?
on.
So it was a time of uncertainty. Markets were volatile. Do you remember from a couple episodes what that means? Give them the
Up and
reminder.
down, baby.
There you go. It's funny because anytime I say that now in client meetings, I'm just like, which sounds scary, but it's just up and down. So truly what we say on the podcast then does get applied to our day-to-day with clients. I remember early on, Cam was on a road trip with us and I hear y'all's voice in my head all the time. And then like we were actually there bantering back and forth. He's like, this is like listening to the podcast. This is like editing the podcast. See, that's the other thing. Cam used to edit every single episode.
At 180, episode 180, I handed the reins over and we now outsource it.
So he really could then tell, okay, Katie says too many or Court has pauses or whatever it was. He knows our quirks to make us sound great to you. He knows what we do in reality.
What I find really, it was a very interesting thing for me to find out just exactly how many vocal foibles I have, because I record other podcasts in addition to this one. In my personal time, have a couple of other podcasts that I do. And after
not as cool as us.
After I recorded a couple of episodes and
he's tuning you in.
I'm going through and I'm listening to this other podcast. The first time I recorded with someone else, after it was edited and put together and stuff, the guy that I record with has sent it to me and said, here, listen to this. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is terrible, because he had gone through and edited it, but he didn't take out all of my and all of my stutters and stuff like that. He had just left all of that stuff in there. And I was like, oh my God, I'm horrible at this. It was absolutely astounding how much Cameron must have been editing out of us.
Okay, so a little micro roast here. Court has the stutters and the ums and the pauses. I can't pronounce words for the life of me, so we definitely had to do some outtakes.
Yeah,
Pierce Bronson, our 07 episode. And I would hate to
Pierce.
Pierce, yeah. And then we have to mention, a few years ago, Nicole joined the Pickler Wealth marketing team and immediately became part of the BullCast family and kind of took on the scripting aspect on it.
Thank you, Nicole.
We're not strictly scripted. It's not like we read from a sheet, but she does help us get our bullet points and our ideas onto a few pieces of print. It's very helpful.
Yeah, because that's before that I was fighting with the two of you. I got this outline together. Come on, let's get this together. And now bringing Nicole in, it really helps that we can go off of this. And yeah, those first several episodes, it was reading a document. And that's where I went on those history lessons. And those are still great episodes, but they're very wordy.
I don't know. I haven't gone back and listened to our early stuff at all.
It's rough. Don't do it.
We're much more conversational. And then we're able to look at the notes that Nicole's put together for us and then build from that, which I think is why we're still doing this. It's because it's still fun to us.
Yeah. And we're still just building that library for clients, for anyone out there. They don't have to be a client, and they can just go to our website and search credit cards or debt or volatility. And it's just a library for them.
And I'm not going to lie. There has definitely been times where we're like, we're too busy. We don't need to do this. Case in point today. So we were supposed to record last week. I had plenty of time to get it edited, get it out there. Cam got sick. Then we were going to record today. And then we had literal clients dying. We have a lot of stuff happening. And it would be very easy to just be like, no, I have got to focus on our clients. I've got to do this. But this is important to our clients too. This is important to our mission as trying to be advocates of financial literacy, things like that. And so it has been very hard. And there have been times where the four of us have butted heads and been like, oh, no, you can just do it by yourself. I can't be a part of it. And we've taken different turns hyping the other one up of, no, this is important. I know I've kicked and screamed a couple of times. This is my thing. David has the talks and the bulletins and all the things like, this is mine. We've got to keep going with this. And so it's thanks to our listeners, the reason, because if nobody was listening to us, then it'd be very easy to say, we don't need to do it.
Yeah, the airwaves are yours, Katie. The audio aspect, this is your thing. And it's fun. Sometimes we're out of town or sick, and so we've had just about every combination possible. It's just been you and me recording, you two recording, me and Court. Nicole has been on with one of y'all. It's fun. The dynamic shifts a little bit.
My sheep, I have to herd. If I have to boost morale, I'm like, no, guys, you can do it. I believe in you.
Yep.
All right.
Yes, Nicole has made a huge difference keeping us on task, getting things going.
On the day that we're recording this, there's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on in our office. It's just a crazy day.
So you're listening to this on Thursday. We're recording this Monday. So we are coming off of the weekend when lots of angst in the world right now, for sure. Okay, let's go to the artifact number one, the foundations. Nicole. and that's what it says.
No, I like it. Artifact.
I was like, did I misread a word?
This is like, I
it's
wasn't
a play
making
on
fun of-
words.
It is.
Look,
I didn't say I hate
I
it.
know this. My husband told me I'm getting really defensive lately, and I need to learn how to take a joke. But I was like, did I mispronounce? It's artifact.
I feel like Brendan Fraser in The Mummy. That's all I was going to say. I like Artifact. All right, Nicole, are you taking number one?
Go.
I was not here for the foundations, but I can take it.
Just tell us what were our foundations.
Your foundations, budgeting,
Off to a great start.
yes, income, spending, credit scores, buying your first car. I happen to know a lot about that. Runs in the family. Buying your first house. What is a stock? What is a bond? What even is a money market? We weren't trying to be flashy. At least y'all weren't trying to be flashy in the beginning.
I feel like I
Just
used to
wanna
be more
clear.
creative with our show titles
You
early
were
on.
like 007.
It was like episode
Bond.
7, so we called it episode 7 Bonds.
Oh.
Something Bonds. I can't remember what it was.
But when you're 300 episodes in, it gets harder to be creative. My list have shown that. I have a feeling.
Yeah.
Episode 300, credit cards.
Yeah. Court, why don't you give us the artifact number 2?
The second artifact is probably no surprise to anybody. It's the idea that we have baked pop culture into our DNA. The lists being the best example. And it's funny that I should mention the lists in the one episode when we're apparently not doing a list. But,
The whole episode's kind of a list.
There's a list if you keep reading.
Okay. I don't keep reading, do I? So somewhere along the way, we did realize something powerful. If you connect money to something people already love, then they will tend to remember what you're talking about more. So that was always the idea behind why we injected pop culture into this, is just to make it so that we're not just talking about spending or credit scores. We're actually talking about something that people can relate to and know about without us having to educate them. We would break down a credit card by saying something like, never finance a Big Mac, because if you pay for a Big Mac on your credit card and then don't pay it off at the end of the month, you're going to be paying interest on it. We explained bonds by comparing them, like you mentioned, Cameron, to James Bond. We talked about cash accounts and somehow turned that into a bank heist movie episode. Here is our meta list for this episode. Our favorite pop culture lists. So we're going to actually go down and list our lists.
That is so meta. I'm here
Very
for it.
meta.
Kick us off, Court.
Okay, number 1 was the best haunted houses.
Yes, that was the
Or-
buying a house episode.
Yeah. 2.
Okay, so I thought we were going the other way. The second list, crazy ways people have pulled teeth.
I remember that
For
one.
tooth fairy inflation.
I vaguely
I gotta
remember
go
it.
back to the tooth fairy inflation episode, because now my kids are growing teeth, but I know before too long it'll be them suckers are coming out.
Speaking of teeth, the best and worst vampire movies. It was the episode we were talking about Fang stocks. That's Faang.
Really,
That's a pretty good list right
really
there for
hope
that.
Twilight was on the best.
I think we had a long debate about Twilight
Oh,
and
I doubt very
sparkling.
seriously that I would have allowed
Pretty sure we
Twilight
talked
to be
about
listed
Cakey
as-
and Twilight and all that. Who remembers Twitter nugs?
Oh, I missed Twitter
do.
notes.
I love
Please,
Twitter
please,
notes.
Court, do the voice.
Twitter notes.
There you go. And then the best Stephen King movies.
Yeah.
Pennywise and Pound Foolish.
That was good, yeah. Products that have taken pumpkin too far. I remember this one. This was our pumpkin spice
Oh my
BullCast.
gosh. Yes, there was like pumpkin spice toothpaste or
Yeah.
something.
Deodorant.
Oh, gross.
Yes.
There are pumpkin spice dude wipes. I don't know if y'all
Oh.
seen those.
Oh,
Yes.
I think
gosh.
someone in the
terrible.
office has some. They're not-
Best Secret Society movies.
Oh,
Loved that one because then you created the graphic, the bulls and bones.
Hamilton trivia. Death of the Dollar.
I think this was David's first episode on BullCast was Death of the Dollar. Yep.
It was. All right. Ranking Taylor Swift's albums. BullCast Taylor's version. I was thinking about this. I think my list has changed since doing this because there's been a
Oh,
couple more albums added. So
That's true.
The best Foo Fighters songs from
yeah.
the Great Dave Ramsey debate. Why would we choose Foo Fighters?
I can tell you because I was really struggling here. I was like, Dave Grohl, Dave
Dave Ramsey.
Okay, we're going to make that work.
So sometimes we really have to stretch, but it's fine. The best fictional time machines. The Time and Money episode.
The World's Richest Superheroes from The Cost of Being a Superhero.
Yeah, I remember that one.
There were so many more.
We've had a lot of superhero lists.
What's hilarious is one of the phrases, and I know I've said it a couple of times recently, but we were actually on a call, CEO of Commonwealth Financial, and he referenced the quote that I used to say all the time. And he said, "Is the juice worth the squeeze?" And I'm
Right.
like silently over there dying, and I can see Court's like, Katie knows this phrase very well.
He stole it from BullCast.
He stole it from us.
Yeah, that's a whole. You bring that up, and I was actually thinking about that earlier today because it's not often that we had a video conference scheduled with a person person from Commonwealth. And it was going to be me and David and Katie and this person from Commonwealth. And I was the first one to hop on. So when I hop on, I'm the person that I was expecting to be there was there. And so was Wayne Bloom. And I was like, oh, Wayne, expecting you to be on this call. So kind of surreal there for a second. But anyway.
Shout out to Commonwealth.
Yeah.
When you were talking about the CEO, I thought you were talking about when we called the Butterball Turkey Hotline this past Thanksgiving.
Fun.
Freaked him out a little bit.
Let's pivot over. One of the things that's made it even more difficult about the 300 episodes is we're not like normal podcasts that can just put it together, upload it.
Yeah.
Commonwealth compliance has to listen to every single one of these episodes. And so,
Those
Cam, you
poor
want
people.
to, yeah, every single episode. Cam's got a great relationship with them.
David also listens to every single
David
episode.
also does. Yes. David approves it. Commonwealth approves it. And that's to make sure that because we are governed under higher responsibility to make sure what we're delivering to you is accurate information. We're not misleading anybody. And that's because we're licensed advisors. I'm a licensed advisor. These two aren't. These four aren't. I don't know how many people are in this room.
I am not licensed.
No, that is what's different than some of these other podcasts, TikToks, things like that, where people are giving financial advice. If they are not licensed, they're not having to go through a compliance to make sure what they're saying is appropriate. So that is where we're different, that the advice we're giving has been vetted not only through David Pickler, but also our compliance to make sure we are following all the rules and regulations that we need to.
Thank you to those compliance officers in Waltham and San Diego for being speedy with these, and I pray it continues.
Yeah. So finance sticks, well, when it's relatable, the pop culture lists were fun. They've made intimidating topics fun, less intimidating. And honestly, they make the show unforgettable.
I have a very unforgettable moment that involves Cameron. We need to mention. Do we remember when he thought Jerry Lawler died and had a moment of silence on the pod?
Okay.
Yes.
As a reminder, the night before we recorded, I had a dream, and it was the most real dream where I woke up and Jerry Lawler was dead. I was mourning him, the loss of him. I came in, I told you about it, we recorded, I talked about it. Did I Google it or one of y'all? And you're like, he didn't die.
Yeah, I think we were very confused. But in this day and age with AI, there's something out there right now that's saying that Nancy Guthrie has been found, but it's not. It's not true. So there's a lot of bad information. So we have definitely made some mistakes over the 300 episodes on some pop culture references, on some misquotes, some things like that. The financial aspect of it, we've been vetted so they know we're doing the right thing.
We're not speaking lies, but there have been a couple episodes where David didn't love it, but we got to push it through.
Okay, let's go to number 3.
Artifact number 3.
Is that me?
That's you.
I'll do it. I'm so thrown off. Also, we had a first on this 300th episode. That list we just did was like a snake draft. We've never done that. I went Court, Nicole, me, Katie. Katie, me, Nicole, Court.
It was weird.
Threw me off. All right, artifact number 3, the real life moments. The third artifact in our capsule is heavier. Because as BullCast evolved, so did the conversations. I feel that in the first part of BullCast, we were still like feeling each other out and to know each other. It's awkward, blind date-esque. And then we got serious. We talked about surviving a job loss, managing inherited wealth while grieving, divorce, financial panic, money dysmorphia, the emotions of investing. Money is math, but it's also behavior. I feel like we just got smarter.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. We've all been in the industry longer. This is year 6. And so, of course, we're going to pick up these natural things. We're living it day in and day out.
We're taking what happens in client meetings and we're thinking about how, okay, we're talking to this one person about it, but there's other people that could benefit from this.
Think about just you and me, the amount of classwork that we've gone through since we started this podcast, because we've both taken a lot of classes in a lot of different subjects.
We both have extra letters to the back of our names since we've done this. We both have lots of education behind us.
You didn't back then.
That goes into the next one, which is our growth. At the beginning, it was just me and you, Court. We were the main host. Cam, you were behind the scenes editing. You were being silent. You were letting us know when we were running too long or things like that. I don't even remember when it was that we just kept, you should jump in on this. You should be a part of this.
Because we only had 2 mics. And occasionally, to be funny, I would scream something to pick it up in one of the mics. I was just some to the side guy.
We were recording in the library over in, which at that time was the Pickler Law Firm, which is now the Pickler Accounting Firm. So that's evolved. We're now in this great new studio. Then Nicole joined the fun. We've watched this show grow. We've watched our team grow. We've welcomed different guests, including our boss, David Pickler. Had twins, which are We got to get them some BullCast swag. They were on brand because they were born in the Taurus season. They are bulls. They're baby bulls.
Oh, yeah. We've got bulls all over the place since the boys have been
So
born.
many bulls. So BullCast has always been a team effort. Like I said, it is keeping each other going. One of the funny things that I was thinking about is Court and I don't fight as much as we used to. There were definitely lots of episodes that our personalities are very similar. And you could tell the tension between the two of us when we would record. And then visualizing everybody, like I sit across from him. And so episodes where I would do everything possible to not make eye contact with him. Or just the ones that we would pick at each other, brother and sister, old married couple, whatever it may be. Like we would constantly pick at each other. And we haven't done that as much. We haven't been roasting each other as much.
I mean, entertained me.
When I first came on, one of the first things you're like, okay, it's Katie and Court. They fight a lot, but we'll get the job done. I'm like, okay, lots of bickering. Let's go.
See, maybe we've grown. We don't fight as much. We keep our Snapchat streak strong.
You mentioned David being a guest, and we haven't talked about the slew of guests we've had over the years. Do y'all have a favorite?
Yeah, mine has always been
Aaron Gruel.
Yeah.
And that's probably our highest profile.
Over your daughter?
Listen, don't start trying to start a fight between me and Keiki.
I'm just saying.
I don't really think of Keiki as a guest. She actually had a pretty regular role on the podcast for a while there.
I think some of them are fun where we've gone places and done them. Like when we went to Magnolia in May, when we recorded the one in that
In Sheridan,
the
Wyoming.
Sheridan, Wyoming.
Hot Springs in
Hot
the
Springs.
basement with the lights off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You want a fun fact?
What?
The most listened episode is the one with you and your tour guide. Like it has the most views.
No way.
Most listens, yeah.
Wow. Good old
Wow.
Dave.
The quality wasn't there, but I liked the content.
Yeah. So it's one that we have not ever gotten back to. Is there's a brewery in town that I was ready to record with the host, and then it was just scheduling conflicts left and right. But we need to get them back on because it'd be fun to go down there to sample their beers, talk to them about the brewery boom and, you know, what's going on there.
Yeah.
But Nicole, let's try and get that going.
I've got a mixer there next week, so maybe I can.
Hey.
Huh?
Perfect. Look at you, mixer.
I'm mixing.
Very cool. We're not going to argue with each other as much anymore. We're not going to do stuff. But I'd asked Nicole if this episode we could maybe roast. And she said, I don't know that I want to roast you guys. But Nicole, tell us what you come up with.
I will say chat helped me out a little bit.
It doesn't make it as personal.
being mean, so this isn't coming all from me. But
I want you to deliver it like it's coming from
Yeah,
you.
you
Okay.
better deliver this.
Let me put on my good acting skills.
Okay.
You guys run a personal finance podcast disguised as the Cheers bar of financial literacy. What even is Cheers? That's a joke. I've seen Cheers.
Look, okay, hold on. Let's take this. If we were a Cheers bar, like who would be who?
Can I be Ted Danson? No.
Sam? You want me Sam? Who's Norm?
I don't want to be Norm.
You're Kirstie Alley, obviously.
I could also see me being little bitty thing.
I can't remember
Little
what
feisty.
Carla. Was it Carla?
Carla. I can
Yeah.
see me being Carla. Okay, keep going, Nicole. Sorry.
You're trying so hard to be relatable. Pop culture list, movie references. We're just friends talking money stuff energy that I half expected an episode titled Why You're Broke.
Option for an episode.
You're not wrong. Court, you're up first. Court has the energy of a man who discovered one financial concept in 2014 and has been writing it like a Nobel Peace Prize ever since. He doesn't explain things, he declares them.
I am the law.
I have heard him declare many things. You ask a simple question and he answers like he's delivering a TED Talk no one asked for.
Accurate.
Now, if you really want a TED Talk, get Byron and Court in here and let them go.
Oh, yes.
Because you will
Lord.
get a TED Talk with all of the hand motions. Katie is the calm, responsible energy holding the podcast together, while the other two spiral into pop culture metaphors.
That's not a roast.
No.
Every time the guys drift into a 7-minute tangent about fictional characters' net worth, Katie is just sitting there. This was supposed to be a budgeting episode.
See, that's not roast me at all.
I like it. You're building Katie up.
I'm building
Continue
Katie up.
the
I gotta
roast.
build. It's Women's History Month. Cam feels like the wild card, the human sound effect button, which is pretty accurate.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He's the guy who brings up a completely unrelated comparison and somehow turns it into a discussion about IRAs, into a debate about sandwich rankings. He loves a sandwich,
I
if you
do.
didn't know this.
Yep.
Without Court, there's no direction. Without Katie, there's no accuracy. And without Cam, there's no chaos. And without Nicole, there's no BullCast outlines. So
That is true.
Fair enough.
Women's History Month. I roasted myself on ChatGPT the other day. Let me see what it said. It was a proper roast. Dang it.
You did put it in.
Said you majored in broadcast journalism and somehow ended up being the color commentator on a financial podcast. That's like training to be Anderson Cooper and becoming the guy who says, "Great point, Court," every 45 minutes. You pursued acting, had an agent, starred in movies, and now your biggest performance is reacting enthusiastically to retirement planning strategies. The range, the drama.
ChatGPT also said the name BullCast sounds like a fictional version of the Weather Channel for people too intimidated by charts to open Excel. Oh, you're bullish on financial literacy and that's why you call it BullCast? Bruh. It sounds like someone told you to pick a stock market animal and you grabbed the first thing that wasn't a bear. Bruh. The co-host who spend more time talking pop culture than actual finance, another guy who spews whatever nonsense comes to his mind, and a producer whose main job sounds like the Starbucks run for the team. That's not a financial podcast. That's a weirdly calm support group for people who Googled what's an ETF right before bed. It said, I don't know if I'm learning about investing or prepping for a themed pub quiz host by someone whose favorite stock is Apple because it makes caffeine devices. Your tone, we're not here to judge, just to casually mention how savings accounts are important, like Batman mentions justice, except Batman is broke and he fights crime with gadgets from Apple. That's the mental space you've put me in. The final roast nugget. Oh, chat said nugget. Your podcast is like someone who wants to train for a marathon but insist on explaining the Office character's arc during the warm-up. Only if I need fun Spotify suggestions I can fall asleep to right before tax season. If you want a zero filter tagline for the brand, BullCast, where personal finance meets pop culture tangents and somehow we still teach you something.
I like it.
I don't hate it.
Here's a roast for Katie. She is the only person alive who has never seen The Office.
Technically seen parts of 2 or 3 episodes. But yes, I don't watch that.
Speaking of The Office, I was thinking earlier when we were going through the history, we're kind of like a sitcom, like Friends or The Office, because we always have a Christmas episode, we have a Thanksgiving episode, we have a New Year's episode. It's fun.
Then when are we going to Disney?
You tell me.
Because 90s sitcoms, they would always have a Disney trip.
Full House, Family Matters. Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
always.
And you mentioned pubs. We should go to Maeve's Tavern.
Oh, we should to celebrate. That is truly our 300th. Go celebrate. Toast to the good old days. So a time for reflection. Let's wrap this up. From episode 1 to episode 300, the goal has stayed the same. Make money feel less intimidating. Make principles feel practical. Make personal finances simple. If you've learned nothing from 300 episodes, it should be that finances are a part of absolutely everything in your life. Whether you understand them, whether you don't, whether you have money, whether you don't, it is impacting everything. Remember the episodes we've talked about your health and how that is correlated with your financial health. Just like you go to the doctor to hopefully check up on yourself, you should have your team of people. As always, we have enjoyed doing this podcast, and I hope to continue to do this as long as we possibly can, because there's constantly going to be different subjects, different topics to talk about, and different ways to approach this. This 300 episodes is a big thanks to our listeners and our big supporters. I'll also add our team here at Pickler Wealth Advisors, Pickler Law Firm, and Pickler Accounting. They have supported us, listening, being there for us, giving us recommendations and advice on what we should talk about to our people, continuing to tell our clients to check out our podcast. I do want to give a shout out to Shelby Butterfield. I know for sure she is a team member that does actively listen, and that's huge. We very much appreciate that.
I've been trying to get her to come on for an episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
For years.
Yep. But we are always looking for guests. If you would like to be a guest, please let us know. What else do we want to leave them with, guys?
I think we should point out that this podcast has won a few awards.
Oh, yeah, we hadn't. If we're tooting our own horn, let's toot.
We are award winning.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been
two-year Vox winners for Best Podcast.
We've been a finalist in Think Luminaries a couple times for our thought leadership.
Absolutely.
Rad.
So you keep listening. We'll keep talking. What was our tagline? Giving you some nonsense on some pop culture. But at the end of the day, hopefully you learn something. We'll keep doing our part. Y'all keep doing your part. Boys, girl, it's been fun.
It's been a pleasure.
I really have enjoyed this time. I do think that it's made all of us get closer, and it's our little niche, our little thing that we're doing. It does help to break up a day like today that's been really crazy. Everybody's got a lot on their minds, heavy on their hearts, and remember why we do what we do. I'll end with the story of I was a nonprofit prior to coming over here, and I was so worried that moving over to the finance world, I was not going to get that feel-good feeling of making a difference in somebody's life. But I do hope that our podcast helps make a difference in people's lives by giving them some knowledge, helping them through things. If nothing else, letting them know they're not alone. And we are going to continue to be transparent, to tell our faults and our things that come into our lives, whether it's us personally or people we know, because finance is so important. Understanding what you need to do and asking for help. That is the other big thing, is even if you feel like you are drowning, it's better to ask for help as soon as you realize it than wait because you were ashamed or embarrassed.
And a big shout out to David Pickler, because he took a chance on this when I brought it to him years ago. He funded the equipment we needed. He knows it's time consuming. We all have to stop our busy schedule to record. And because it's important to us, it's important to him. So here's to the next 300.
Let's do it.
Of course,
Someone
will
play,
I still be working in 300 episodes?
Someone play Auld Lang Syne.
There's the closing bell. Ladies and gentlemen, you've made it to the end of yet another episode of the BullCast podcast. If you liked what you heard and you'd like to hear more, please feel free to go to your favorite subscription service and sign up to have our podcast delivered directly to your device every single Thursday at noon. If you'd like to find out more about Cortland, Katie, Cameron, and Nicole, please feel free to go to our website. That website is bullcastpodcast.com. We've got pictures up there, we've got our bios, and we've got a place where you can drop a comment or suggest a topic you'd like to hear us talk more about. But hey, I mentioned pictures. We do have an Instagram handle where you can find many pictures, and that handle is at BullCast Podcast. We also have an X handle, which is also at BullCast Podcast. And rounding out the social media, we have a Facebook page, which is BullCast the Podcast, so feel free to check us out there. But as I tell you on every single episode, I would like to mention that we all work at a place called Pickler Wealth Advisors. And if you'd like to find out even more about us, find out about what we do, find out about what we could do for you, find out about our amazing team, or find out about our boss, David Pickler, please feel free to go to that website. That website is picklerwealthadvisors.com.
That's advisors with an O.
Not an E.
Ladies and gentlemen, we haven't given you everything, but we've given you at least 300 episodes and hopefully 300 more. So for now, I'm Court.
I'm Katie.
I'm Cam.
And I'm Nicole.
And we're done.